Last night, you almost certainly did it. You lay down, you closed your eyes, and for a while, your mind slipped out of the real world entirely. It built whole landscapes that don't exist. It showed you faces, some familiar, some you've never met. It made impossible things happen, and while they were happening, you simply believed them. And then by morning, most of it was gone, dissolved before you could even reach for it. Every single night, your brain becomes a theater. It writes a story you didn't plan, fills it with people and places out of nothing, and shows it to an audience of exactly one: you. You've been doing this your whole life, and here is the part that should genuinely surprise you. After more than a century of serious science, no one can agree on why. Tonight, let's step inside the strange nightly world of dreaming, look at the leading ideas for why we do it, and see why this remains one of the last great everyday mysteries hiding inside your own head. First, what is a dream, really? For most of history, dreams were pure mystery, messages from gods, omens, visits from the dead. The science only truly began in 1953, when two researchers at the University of Chicago, Eugene Aserinsky and Nathaniel Kleitman, noticed something odd. As their sleeping subjects rested, there were moments when their eyes began darting rapidly back and forth beneath their closed lids. When they woke the sleepers during these bursts, they almost always reported a vivid dream. They had discovered a whole hidden stage of sleep, which we now call REM, for rapid eye movement. And REM sleep is bizarre. During it, your brain is not quietly resting. It lights up with activity, nearly as much as when you are wide awake, crackling with electricity and emotion. Yet at the very same time, your body goes almost completely limp. A switch in your brainstem essentially paralyzes you, holding your muscles still. And that paralysis may be a kind of protection, so that you don't physically leap up and act out the wild events unfolding in your mind. So picture what's really happening. Several times a night, your brain roars to life as if you were awake, conjures an entire world, and runs you through it, all while your body lies frozen in the dark. And this is not rare. You cycle into REM roughly every 90 minutes, and the dreams grow longer toward morning. Over a whole lifetime, you will spend years of your life dreaming. Years. And here is the cruel twist. You forget almost all of it. Most dreams evaporate within minutes of waking, slipping away no matter how hard you grab. So you have this vast, vivid, nightly experience happening over and over for your entire life, and your brain quietly erases nearly every trace of it. A behavior this universal, this constant, this costly in time, surely must be doing something important. And yet, when you ask scientists what that something is, you don't get one answer. You get several, and they argue. Let's walk through the leading ideas. The first big idea came not from a brain scanner, but from a famous couch. More than a century ago, Sigmund Freud declared that dreams were the royal road to the unconscious. To him, a dream was a disguised wish, a hidden desire, often one too forbidden to face while awake, sneaking out in coded, symbolic form while your guard was down. For Freud, every dream meant something, and that meaning could be decoded. His ideas shaped how the whole world thought about dreams for generations. But here, we have to be honest. Modern neuroscience has found very little evidence for Freud's specific claims. As a scientific theory of why we dream, it has largely been set aside. It remains a landmark in the history of ideas, but not a proven explanation. The second idea turned Freud completely on its head. In the 1970s, two Harvard researchers, J. Allen Hobson and Robert McCarley, proposed something almost the opposite. They suggested that during REM sleep, deep parts of your brainstem fire off bursts of more or less random signals, and your higher brain, the part of you that is relentlessly trying to make sense of everything, receives this storm of random sparks and does what it always does. It builds a story. In this view, called activation synthesis, a dream is your brain's best attempt to weave a coherent tale out of meaningless noise. The strangeness of dreams, the sudden shifts, the impossible logic isn't a hidden message at all. It's exactly what you'd expect when your mind tries to stitch random firing into a narrative. The dream isn't the point. It's the byproduct of a brain that simply cannot stop telling stories. The third idea looks at what so many dreams are actually about: danger. Think about how often dreams turn frightening. You're being chased, you're falling, you're trapped or threatened, or running from something you can't see. The Finnish neuroscientist Antti Revonsuo noticed this pattern and proposed what he called threat simulation. The idea is that a dream is a safe rehearsal space, a kind of virtual reality where your brain can practice facing dangers without any real risk. Night after night, you run drills against the threats your ancestors feared, sharpening your instincts for spotting and escaping danger, so that you're better prepared when something goes wrong in waking life. By this view, your nightmares aren't malfunctions, they are training. The fourth idea may be the one with the most evidence behind it: memory. While you sleep, your brain is not idle, it is busy sorting. It replays pieces of your day, strengthens the memories worth keeping, files them away into long-term storage, and lets the trivial ones fade. Researchers like Robert Stickgold have found striking clues here. When people learn a new task and then dream about something related to it, they often perform better afterward. Studies of rats show their brains replaying the exact paths of a maze they ran earlier while they sleep. In this picture, dreams may be the visible surface of a deep nightly process, your brain organizing the day, deciding what to remember and what to let go. And there is a fifth idea, woven closely to the fourth, that is quietly beautiful: dreaming as a kind of overnight therapy. The sleep scientist Matthew Walker has argued that REM dreaming does something remarkable with your emotions. During REM, your brain replays the emotional events of your life, but in a calm, low-stress chemical state, almost as if revisiting a painful memory in a safe room. Over time, this may strip some of the raw sting out of difficult experiences, softening them, so you wake able to remember what happened without feeling it quite so sharply. In this view, you don't just dream to remember, you dream in part to heal. So which one is right? Here is the honest answer, and it's the heart of this whole story. We don't know. Not one of these ideas has clearly won. And the truth may be that they are all partly right, that dreaming does several jobs at once: sorting memories, soothing emotions, rehearsing dangers, all while your storytelling brain spins it into narrative. Or there's a humbler possibility we have to leave on the table, that some of what you dream is simply a side effect, the natural exhaust of a very active brain running through the night with no single tidy purpose at all. We have learned an enormous amount about when you dream and how. The deep question of why still hangs open, and there are smaller wonders tucked inside the big mystery. You forget your dreams so easily because, during REM, the parts of your brain that lay down new long-term memories are turned right down, so the experience washes over you and vanishes. Your body paralyzes itself each night to keep you safe inside your own imagination, and you are not alone in any of this. Nearly every mammal experiences REM sleep, which means your dog twitching by the fire and the cat asleep on the windowsill are almost certainly dreaming too. Whatever dreaming is for, it is old, and it is shared across much of the animal world. So step back and look at the whole strange picture. Every single night, completely free of charge, your brain builds an entire universe, populates it, runs you through an adventure inside it, and then erases nearly all of it before breakfast. It is one of the most ordinary things you will ever do, and at the same time, one of the most genuinely mysterious. The brightest minds in science still cannot fully agree on what it's for. So tonight, when you lie down and you close your eyes and your mind slips away once more to build its impossible worlds, remember what you're really doing. You are stepping into one of the last great everyday mysteries left, a place humans have visited every night for as long as there have been humans, and that we still, after all this time, cannot fully explain. We may not agree on why you dream, and somehow, that only makes the journey you take every single night more extraordinary.